In the marketing cycle for the Justice League film, there were 3 full trailers released by the studio, plus some footage screened at Comic-Con. It's not unusual for trailer material to change or disappear from the final product, however Justice League went through an unusual process whilst in production. Director Zack Snyder stepped down from the project in early 2017 after a personal tragedy. Joss Whedon was brought on to complete the film, and it underwent major reshoots, leading to Whedon earning a writing credit for the movie. We don't know exactly what changed, but the first trailers, released under Snyder's stewardship, give us some great clues as to the differences in vision. Everything on screen so far was not in the final film. This sequence might have been trimmed, but in all likelihood was completely redone in the now famous moustache reshoots.
Violence, acts of war, and terrorism are all on the rise.
This frame, a minute into this trailer, is the first shot that was actually in the finished Justice League movie. I've taken the moments from each trailer to look more deeply into what went missing between the marketing and the final film. Probably the best place to start is the opening of the first trailer released. Here we see Bruce Wayne travelling in a frozen and harsh landscape. The discussion was going to be whether he was travelling to find Aquaman, or if he was searching for the Fortress of Solitude. We now know that he was... This is probably the point to add that I'm going to be discussing details from the Justice League film. I will not be delving into deep plot points, but be aware they may be considered spoilers if you want to go in fresh.
The others.
We now know that he was searching for Jason Momoa's Aquaman. A couple of these shots made it into the final film, but even this reveal of his face is much shortened. Something completely excised is this longing, yearning look at a holographic Superman. This is a moment that the slash fiction writers would have written pages about. The next sequence shows Bruce and Diana discussing the attempt to bring Aquaman onto the team.
He said he'll fight with us?
More or less.
More or more less?
Probably more or less.
He said no.
He said no.
And speaking of Aquaman, he only has a few moments in the trailers, and mostly it showcases his bombastic action or his humour, but this leap and double strike was also missing. And whilst we're on the subject of missing green screen action, this shot of Flash evading a non-winged bug and then pummeling him through a door is also absent. Probably this is due to his role now being more of a support than offense in the finished movie. But if we want to talk CG sequences that are missing, this amazing glass smash has disappeared entirely. It's a shame because it alludes to an increased role for Ezra Miller's Flash at some point in the movie. But if we rewind, this lady behind him seems oblivious to any danger or anything going on, which leaves me wondering what was going on in this scene to make Barry cause such destruction. And if we want to see evidence of decreased roles in films, Ray Fisher has both pre- and post-Cyborg moments in the trailers that have gone missing. Shots of him in a varsity Letterman jacket and playing football before his accident hinted a full backstory for a very new character to the live-action DC universe. His new body defending scientist hostages and a police person have also now gone. The second of these looks like it was at Superman's memorial, which implies a much larger fight happening than we eventually saw at that place in the movie. We also have more shots of him flying and donning a helmet a la Iron Man, then bursting through some clouds. This is a comparison the film and character do not need, so I can appreciate them being excised. There are a couple of short moments that have gone. One is a shot of a mother box going wild in a cupboard, and then a hero shot of Cyborg, Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Looking at their surroundings, this is very similar to a shot of Steppenwolf and his army. This might be mostly down to an effects change, perhaps the aesthetic of the hellscape became more organic later in post-production. There is also some audio in one trailer that is now absent, and has a very interesting line for DC fans.
No protectors here. No lanterns.
Steppenwolf knows not only is there no Earth-based Green Lantern, but that the Lantern Corps are not around either. This is a small moment, but adds into a brief glimpse in the flashback sequences that we get in the final film. To finish up, I'm going to get to the end of the main trailer. Alfred is doing his mechanic thing, and knows that someone has come into the Batcave. someone he then talks to. This has been removed entirely, and if the person he speaks to is who we think it is, he appears at the fight's climax with no explanation for how they knew to be there. It didn't occur to me that this was a plot hole, so it's probably an unnecessary explanation in the first place. So there you have it. In total, about 3 minutes worth of content from 14 minutes worth of trailers that did not end up in the final film. Given the quality of the final product of Justice League, I approve most of these changes, but at least a high likelihood that an extended edition, maybe even a Zack Snyder cut, will be released on home media and streaming. Maybe at that time we'll know more about his intentions for the film.
Oh, wow, they really just vanish. Huh? Oh, that's rude.
I hope you enjoyed this look at the changes from the trailers to the final product. Don't forget to go to eloquentgushing.com for more articles and podcasts about your favourite pop culture.